Om Sri Sai Ram. Hearty welcome to Sri Satya Sai Lok Seva Gurukulam online classes. We are coming to a very important topic on the sources of energy, and that is nuclear energy. Before you come to today's topic, let us just revise what you have studied in the previous classes. First, we have defined what is meant by energy. What is energy? The capacity to do work is called as energy. And how it is measured? It is measured by a unit called joule, named after the scientist John Scott Joule. So, energy is something which is very important for all the creations of the universe. So, the whole universe is filled with matter and energy. And again, we have seen different kinds of energy. Mainly, we can classify them as renewable and non-renewable. I already seen in the previous classes. So, non-renewable energy is that which cannot be renewed. Renewable energy is that which can be renewed. So, that we already studied in the previous class. For example, fossil fuels, coal. Fossil fuels includes coal, petroleum and natural gas. It is non-renewable source of energy. Even natural gas also is a very good source of energy which comes with petroleum. And also you have seen advantages of fossil fuels, that they are very important source of electricity. Major portion of the electricity is supplied by the fossil fuels, namely coal. Is it not? We have got a thermal power plant in Raichur. Already studied about that. And as it is, there are some disadvantages also. It causes pollution of air, and it causes poisonous gases. And also we have seen that it will cause what is called greenhouse effect. One of the dangers of these fossil fuels. Also, it will lead to what is called as global warming because of excess of carbon dioxide produced in the atmosphere. This is something which you already studied in the previous class. Also, we have seen that cities like New Delhi are using what is called as CNG, compressed natural gas, instead of petrol or diesel, because the pollution rate is very high in cities like Delhi, Gwalior, Bhopal, etc. There this introduction of CNG has been successful and it has reduced pollution in the atmosphere. So, these are things which you have seen in the previous class. Now, let us just go through the home assignment. First question, name any 4 non-renewable sources of energy and give at least one advantage of each. Non-renewable. What are they? Let us see some of them now. For example, coal. The use of coal is very high now. So, shortly, about 50 to 60 years, it is going to vanish completely because of its demand. So, here demand for coal is more than the supply, and it is cheaper, and also it is available in plenty, except in Antarctica and Arctic. In almost all nations have coal deposits. And the main use of coal is, it is used in the production of electricity. It is also used as a fuel. Okay, petroleum is an excellent source of energy. When you say petroleum, and it is energy for all transportations. What you see as cars, buses, two-wheelers, all these. And it is approximately about 2,500 products are there of petroleum. Petroleum. Oleum means oil. It is also called rock oil. And the consumption of petroleum is very high. It is so high that within about 25 to 30 years, the whole deposits of petroleum will come to a grand stop. So now seriously, the scientists are thinking as an alternative source. One of the most important one is solar energy. Okay. So this is something we already seen in the previous class. Natural gas has a very high calorific value. Rate of combustion, it measured in calories. That's why it is called calorific values. Calorie is a unit of measurement of heat. So it is used for burning purpose. Just like as you have got LPG gas, natural gas also comes invariably with petroleum, and that is separated and that is used for very good number of purposes. But it gives a bad smell. And the one which we are going to study now today is about nuclear fuel, which I am going to study in detail. Okay, these are some of the most important non-renewable sources. Means it cannot be renewed, it cannot be got back. Okay. Next, what are the limitations of using natural gas for meeting our energy requirements? So the first one is stock of natural gas is limited. It cannot be replenished. So stock is limited. Only there is continuous consumption. So therefore, one day will come when all the stock of the gas will be exhausted. That's why you must be very careful in using it. And one more defect is that it gives a unpleasant smell in that area. Not happy with the environment of natural gas. So these are the defects of natural gas. Now we will come to today's topic. The most important, the most interesting topic in this sources of energy. Again, it is non-renewable. The energy stored in the nuclei of atoms can be released by breaking a heavy nucleus such as uranium, polonium, plutonium, etc. to two lighter nuclei. The splitting of the nucleus of an atom into fragments that are roughly equal in mass with the release of energy is called nuclear energy. For that you must know some basic things. Like first you must know what do you mean by nucleus. Nucleus is the central portion of the atom. For example, if you take hydrogen, it has got one electron going round. It has got only one proton. It has got one electron going round, right? Similarly, this central part is called as nucleus. When this nucleus has got except hydrogen, all elements have two particles. What are two particles? They are called protons with positive charge and neutrons with negative charge. Neutrons with nil, no charge. Electrons, negative charge, they are going ground. So protons plus neutrons, no charge. This is already studied in a previous class. And these are bound in the nucleus with an energy called as binding energy. The energy between proton-proton or proton-neutron or neutron-neutron is called as binding energy. If this binding energy, if it is hit by another neutron, so breaking of a nucleus into two lighter nuclei. For example, if you take uranium, when a neutron of suitable velocity is made to bombard, means hit the nucleus, it breaks up into two nucleus called barium and krypton. So uranium plus neutron with the mass number 1 and charge 0 produces fragments called barium, krypton, and sometimes it is neutrons, 3 neutrons. And enormous amount of energy is released. And how do you measure it? The measurement is done by what are called as electron volts, which are going to study later. There will be a higher unit called mega electron volt is equal to 10 to the power of 6 electron volts. And what is the device? The device is, see, we have what is called as mass spectrograph. Mass spectrograph tells that when an uranium with mass number 235, you must take an isotope of 235 only. It has got two isotopes. What do you mean isotopes? Isotopes are the atoms of element having different atomic masses but same atomic number. For example, uranium has two atomic masses, 235 and 237. In 235 only is helpful for fission reaction. So you have barium and krypton and 3 neutrons released. So neutron of suitable velocity. To give a very simple example, all of you know carom, right? In carom, what you do, all the pawns are kept one above the other, right? And you will have a striker. So hit the striker to the pawns which are kept in the middle, right? What happens? You must hit it a suitable velocity. If you hit very slowly, it won't touch at all. If you hit very strongly, it may not touch at all. So with a suitable velocity, suitable direction. So suitable direction and suitable velocity should be hit. And what happens then? The big heap, or what you call as pawns arranged one above the other, will fall down. Is it not? So also here, when neutron of suitable velocity are made to hit a very heavy nucleus of uranium, it breaks up into barium and krypton. Sometimes it will have 2 neutrons also in some reactions. In some reactions it is 3 neutrons. And these neutrons will continue with hitting some other atoms of uranium forming what is called as chain reaction. Anyway, in this process, we have a very high amount of energy is released. And this type of breaking the heavy nucleus into two fragments, these are called fragments, is called as nuclear fission. So, fission means breaking. One simple example which all of you enjoy. All of you have eaten laddu, is it? Bundi laddu. And if bundi laddu is made to fall down, what happens? It breaks up into two parts. Still you make it like that, that is called fragments. Is it not? So here what happens, when it breaks up into two fragments, the mass of the fragment that is formed is less than the mass of the uranium. So what happens? This mass difference, that is what you call it as mass defect, that is called mass defect. This mass defect is converted into energy. It was Albert Einstein, a very world famous genius, who is not only a scientist but also a saintist. The scientist became saintist in the end. And this defect, what he called a mass defect, he said that mass and energy are interconvertible. That means he can convert the mass into energy, energy into mass. Then you can imagine about our own mass. If our own mass is converted to energy, what an amount of energy we have. As Swami Vivekananda says, we are using only 6% of energy in a day. So 94% is being wasted in our personality. You may ask how it is. We are wasting simply in eating, drinking, sleeping, walking, talking and all. Unnecessary viewing we waste. Only 6% we are using for some good purposes. Whereas you boys or girls, you can practice controlling the thoughts, controlling of mind and senses, taking it inside. You can experience the bliss, the love, the peace, the joy. Okay. So here that is what is called as nuclear fission. These are called fragments. Okay. When hitting by a neutron, it should be of a suitable velocity in a suitable direction. So this energy is called as nuclear energy, and it is about 3% of the total energy of the world is supplied by nuclear energy. Only 3%. But anyway, it is also one of the good sources of energy. And as I just now telling you, it was Albert Einstein who gave a world famous equation called E equal to mc square. Please remember it thoroughly, where E is called energy. Of course, that energy is very, we call it as a very small mass. You know, when you say mass is very small, we call it a delta m into c square. What is c? C, the velocity of light. What is the velocity of light? 3 into 10 to the power of 8. So when it becomes square, a very huge amount it becomes. And so a small amount of each fission mass vanishes in releasing huge amount of energy. For example, if you take 1 milligram, if the mass is 1 milligram, what you call it a delta m. How you get that? That is the difference in the mass. If that mass, say 1 milligram means 10 to the power of minus 6 kg, converted into energy, for example, the velocity of light is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 square. How much it becomes? It becomes 3 square is 9. 9 into 10 to the power of 16 minus 6, 10 to the power of 10. So much of joules. So much of joules with 1 milligram of the mass. So 1 milligram of mass converted into energy releases so much energy. You may ask how much it is. It is far higher than that of Jog Falls. It is calculated that Jog Falls will give energy of the order of 10 to the power of 7 joules. And it is still more than that. And something like, if you take 1 gram of the nuclear fuel, what is nuclear fuel? Elements like uranium, thorium, polonium, etc., etc., plutonium, they are all called nuclear fuels. And this nuclear fuel will give about 100 million tons of coal energy. 1 gram of uranium converted into energy will give out 100 million tons of coal energy, it is said. So that shows that this is a very important source of energy, and of course it is a very expensive one, but anyway it is a very good solution for the energy crisis. And as I was just now telling you, this is about Albert Einstein. I want to tell one small story, right? Sit straight, come on all of you. Yeah, this is the photo of Albert Einstein. He was actually in Germany, and he was driven out. In those times there was one, Adolf Hitler during Second World War time, who was responsible for the Second World War also. He drove away all the Jews. All the Jews, J-A-W-S, not Jews of drinking. This is a group of people. And he is one of the Jew. He was sent out of Germany during Second World War time. It is a boon for America. So they all ran, most of them ran to America and other countries. Albert Einstein also went to America. And he was asked by the American president then time, something like Roosevelt. There are so many presidents, one of them was Roosevelt. They all announced for all the scientists to prepare something like a bomb. And of course, Einstein did a lot of experiments and gave this very famous equation called E is equal to mc square, which was developed by other scientists. And then there was a scientist by name Otto Hahn. Otto Hahn was the first scientist, and Strassman. Otto Hahn and Strassman, they prepared first what we call as atom bomb. So that is why it is said science is both a boon or a bane. If science is used in a good way, it is very helpful. If it is used in a destructive way, it is very harmful, very dangerous. For example, the atom bomb discovered by these, of course, was bombed on the Hiroshima and Nagasaki, killing millions of people. And even now also the dangers are being continued because of the radiations evolving out of the fission reaction. And Einstein was very active as a student. At the age of 5, he started learning fiddling, violinist, very good violinist. He was a scientist as well as a violinist. How many of you know violinist who play on violin, what he called fiddle? So every day he used to enjoy music. And one day it so happened that he had a high fever at the age of 5, and father could not control him. He thought how to control this guy who was so intelligent. He was put in a room. Doctor said he must give him bed rest. How to bed rest by a child of 5? That too of the Einstein's order, very high IQ he had. So father thought, let me give a Marinus compass. He gave him a magnetic compass. What does the compass do? It always comes to rest in north-south direction. So that was a thrill for this guy. He went on taking it to all places, keeping on the head, keeping on the hand, on the bed and all. So that's how he spent the days, and his fever was cured. And even if when he was sent out of the class, he was very happy. For small mistakes, the teacher used to send him out. He used to play the fiddle, and there was one hillock. He used to go on the top of the hillock and go on playing. Okay, so that is a brief story of Albert Einstein, who gave the formula. Unfortunately, that formula was misused, and they prepared what he called as atom bomb. For that, there is a reaction called as chain reaction. Just now I told, in a nuclear reaction there will be some neutrons released, maybe 2 neutrons or 3 neutrons, etc. So if it is 2 neutrons, that is 2 to the power of 1, will hit again uranium, and they form 2 square neutrons. That again hit to another uranium atom, 2 cube, 2 to the power of 4, etc., etc. So the power go on increasing, and they go on. Similarly, if you take 3 neutrons, at least 3 square, that is 9, 27, 81, then 243, etc., etc. So the reaction is continuous. That's why it's called as chain reaction. So the neutrons produced during nuclear fission reaction split up other nuclei uranium-235. That is isotope. 235 means mass number. What is the mass number? Sum of protons plus neutrons. What is the atomic number? Nothing but number of protons or electrons present in an atom of an element. So the reaction continues rapidly, and it is called as chain reaction. In this process, large amount of energy is released. How do you measure energy? You measure in terms of electron volts, mega electron volts. And actually it is measured in terms of joules, megajoules, like that. Okay, so this is what is called as chain reaction. And after the Second World War, after the atom bomb explosion, when millions of people were killed, plants, birds, animals, houses, everything is devastated. Then Indian scientist, the first Indian atomic scientist is Homi Jahangir Bhabha. Even now also his name is there as Bhabha Atomic Research Station. H.J. Bhabha was the first scientist who thought of, good use or harmless uses of atomic energy. And then came Vikram Sarabhai. Even now also his name is there in Kerala, in a place called Tumba, where the rockets are being manufactured. So Homi Jahangir Bhabha, thought of the harmless uses of atomic energy, or in other words, if this energy is controlled, that can be done in a device called nuclear reactor. It is a device which converts nuclear energy into electric energy. So he thought of the harmless uses of this. He thought that it can be converted to electric energy. So the energy released during nuclear fission reactor is used for boiling water and it becomes steam. And the steam so generated is used to drive a turbine which helps in generating electricity. So that is a very important thing you must note. So nuclear reactor was devised. Even now also we have got different places where nuclear reactors are established, and now also it is one of the keys of the national prospects. The quality of a nation is decided by the nuclear reactors, number of nuclear reactors in the nation. So it is a very prestigious. So this is one of the units of the nuclear reactor. This is how you find inside the nuclear reactor. Very thick wall will be there because radiation should not go out. Something like 1 meter made up of concrete and steel, and there will be what is called as control rods. These control rods are used like barium and krypton. Boron and cadmium. Boron and cadmium are used as control rods to control a chain reaction, and there will be what is called as moderator. Like graphite or heavy water is used as moderator. Of course, all these things you are going to study in higher class, second PU. So this is the inner view of the nuclear reactor. So this is what is called as the control rods, and these rods are what is called as the fuel, nuclear fuel in the form of rods. Okay, so this is a beautiful figure of the nuclear reactor, the inner view, and this fission reaction is carried out in a controlled and regulated manner in nuclear reactors. In order to control the fission reaction, some of the neutrons released are absorbed by what is called as control rods made up of boron or cadmium depending on the substance. So there will be what is called moderator also. Moderator also controls the speed of the reaction. Okay. And in our country, nuclear reactors are present in Tarapur, that is in Maharashtra, Kalpakam, Tamil Nadu, Kaiga. We are very proud of Kaiga. Where it is Kaiga? Kaiga is in North Karnataka, North Canara, district of Karnataka state. Of course, the unit is not completed. And Narora, and of course there are so many sub-units also. One of the famous one is called as BARC, that is in Trombay. What is BARC? This for general knowledge I am telling, is not for exam purpose. It is called Bhabha. You heard about Baba. This is Bhabha, named after the Homi Jahangir Bhabha, who formulated for a peaceful purpose. So Bhabha Atomic Research Center, it is in Trombay, working in full swing. And of course, it is a very dangerous plant also, because there will be what is called as radiations coming up. And that radiations will be sometimes dangerous and harmful for the persons who work there also, about which we study a little later. About the atom bombs. So, in the nuclear chain reaction is uncontrollable. As I just now told you, the powers of 2 or powers of 3, so much of neutrons are produced, which gives uncontrollable chain reaction. So, the nuclear energy in the piece of uranium split up in a fraction of a second, causing atom bombs. Otto Hahn and Strassmann has sold. The first atom bomb was discovered by them using the Einstein's energy mass relation. Okay, they first experimented in American football stadium, and they found it successful. Then it was Oppenheimer who exploded the first atom bomb on the 2 cities of Japan, namely, come on, any of you name it? Yes, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. In which year? In 1945, in the month of August. So, 2 atom bombs were dropped on 2 cities, or you can say 2 islands of Japan. In the first shot itself, about 80,000 people died. Later on, the number increased to 1945. Killing lakhs of people and animals lost their lives during nuclear explosion. Resulted in the closure of Second World War. After seeing the devastating, dangers of this, so this was Oppenheimer when he put the bomb by a remote control. Of course, later on he also died. He left it in a very height, more than 3 kilometers height, and it fell on these 2 cities. This is the condition of the city, namely Nagasaki. This is in Hiroshima. Just like a mushroom, the smoke came in such a way, he could not see it. Actually, when he first put this bomb, he quoted Bhagavad Gita quotation, Divi Sahasra Suryeshu, as if thousands of sun illuminated a point. Such was the light, such was the smoke that came out. Nobody expected that it will cause so much of danger, so much of horror, so much of loss. This is the condition of the Nagasaki and Hiroshima after the bomb explosion. And later on, all scientists of the world, especially Albert Einstein, felt very, very bad. He threw away all the books, all the science books, CDs, everything connected with science he threw out. That's what Baba says. A science without humanity, a politics without principles, an education without character is not only dangerous, but also it is very, very harmful. So, scientists like Einstein thought, if because of my giving the formula, they misused it. Of course, it was America's challenge to control Japan and other countries like Germany, Japan and all that, because they are progressing very fast in the world war. To control them, something was needed. And after the explosion of this bomb, the whole world came to a standstill, and they all felt very bad about it. And then came what is called as UNO, United Nations Organization, wherein all the representatives of the countries, they joined together and decided to stop the war, and also, and this danger is there even now also. The radiations continued for their children, their children, their children. Even now also, so many children who are born have no eyesight properly, they can't hear properly, they can't walk properly. This all because of the radiations. There will be what is called as alpha rays, beta rays, gamma rays, and all these rays are, produced even now also by the bits of uranium, what you see it. So also in nuclear fission, we have got one more which is more dangerous than that. Nuclear fission resulted in atom bombs, but nuclear fusion resulted in hydrogen bombs, which is more dangerous than this. Millions of times more dangerous than atom bombs. Now most of the countries of the world have atom bombs, and very few countries have got hydrogen bombs, but nobody is ready to use it, because if this hydrogen bomb it is exploded, one bomb is sufficient to smash out 1/3 of the world. So 3 bombs is enough to smash the whole world, and nobody will be there then. That is why even though they prepared this bomb, they have not used it, and they are not interested in using also. So energy can also be produced by the combination of 2 nuclei, light nuclei. For example, if you take hydrogen, it gets converted into helium. So the production of hydrogen into helium. So hydrogen got isotopes. For example, one of the isotope of hydrogen is deuterium, we call it. So when deuterium nuclei combine with another deuterium nuclei, it forms helium with mass number 3. Actual mass number is 4, and some neutrons. Neutrons also produced. Here, this production or the combination of 2 light nuclei to form heavy nucleus, this is called as nuclear fusion. Fission is splitting up, fusion is joining. So here light nuclei are joined to form heavy nucleus, and here also enormous amount of energy is released. It is far more than that, and this energy you can see in stars including suns. The secret behind this, it produces, of course, for production of nuclear fusion we require about 40 lakh degrees Celsius temperature, which can be got by fusion, it can be got by fission reaction. So in stars, millions of stars are there in this universe, this energy can be seen. That is why all the stars are existing from millions of years, because there is what is called as fusion reaction going on continuously. So, but so far the scientists are not successful to prepare this or making use of this energy in the laboratory. But of course they have prepared what is called as hydrogen bombs just for the safety purpose. There is another way of production of nuclear energy. Now let us see what are the uses of nuclear energy. It is used in ships, it is also used in submarines. What is submarine? Ship will go on the top surface of the water in the oceans. Submarines go inside water also, it can come above water also. just like fishes. It is just used as in warfare. These are used for carrying people, luggage and all. This is used for wars, to carry bombs and all. So energy produced in a nuclear reactor can be used to production of electricity, and is also used in submarines and ships. And the radioisotopes obtained by the byproduct of nuclear reactions are used in medicines, agriculture and research purpose. So radioiodine, etc. The isotopes, what do you mean radioisotopes? Isotopes which are radioactive are called as radioisotopes. They are used in medicines, agriculture and research purpose. So these are some of the uses of nuclear energy. And let us see some home. So what are the dangers of nuclear energy? The process of producing nuclear energy, harmful nuclear radiations may get accidentally leaked or released, which can penetrate to human bodies and cause irreparable damage of cells. That is what I have told you a few minutes back. That is happening in Japan, where the atom bomb was exploded. So that is because of the radiations. But you must know one thing, the patriotism of Japanese. The people of Japan are called Japanese. Even though they lost so many people, crores of rupees are being lost, that has become one of the most advanced country in the world. Small, tiny island it is, something like Karnataka. But they have shown to the whole world they are one of the powerful countries. That is because Japanese have got a lot of patriotism. They work for nations. And that is how in a span of about 50 years, the whole economy has boosted up in Japan. And another thing is, another danger of this is disposal of harmful radiant waste are mainly spent fuels is a very dangerous thing, and it is a very difficult thing also, because nobody can touch it, because the radiations are very dangerous. So what they do, they will take the nuclear waste into a very high hilly places where there is less number of vegetation or plants or birds or animals, human beings, etc. Such remote places they take, and they will have a very big concrete tanks on which the nuclear wastes are put and closed, and it is kept so much safe and secure, because the radiations are not seen, just like the recent coronavirus. Effect is seen, but you don't know that what virus, you can't see it, but effect is there, killing thousands of people all over the world. Now it has crossed lakhs also. So such a small tiny virus giving so much of havoc in the world. So also the nuclear radiations is creating a lot of dangers, and so they take a lot of care for disposing this nuclear waste. You might have heard the worst danger that took place, world's greatest tragedy is in a city called Chernobyl in Russia. In Russia, even though it is one of the most advanced country, most scientific country, they also suffered a lot, and thousands of people. It is called the world's greatest tragedy, where the nuclear waste, the misuse of that waste caused for the death of millions of people, animals, birds and so on. So anyway, in spite of all these dangers, the use or the constructive use of nuclear energy is already there, and that's what scientists are trying their best to make the best use of the nuclear energy. Now let us see some home assignments. Nuclear energy is considered to be a very powerful alternative of fossil fuels. Even then, why is it not being used on a much larger scale? Means instead of fossil fuels, you can use nuclear energy. Why it is not used? That is the question. What are the hazards of producing nuclear energy? Give the names of 2 energy sources that you would consider to be exhaustible. Give reasons for your choices. Okay. So, wish you all best of luck. Come prepared. Thank you.